Hello my friends, thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. I just wanted to take a second to thank you all for your kind gifts and generosity. I've received several emails, several letters, and pictures of paintings from people that have just picked up a brush. Watching this humble little YouTube series has inspired a few to start painting, and that's my goal. That was Bob's goal, that was William Alexander's goal, to get you and me as the average novice to get out there and start to create things that we can give to our family and friends and to leave a small legacy in form of oil paint. Again, thank you. I've received gifts of all kinds, posters, letters, bobbleheads, hats, mugs, and even money on occasion. I assure you any funding that I'm getting goes right back into painting supplies. I'm doing fine, I don't need the cash, but I do appreciate those who have sent it to purchase canvas and paints, as they can be quite expensive. So for now, let's go back into the world of J.R.R. Tolkien. I want to do one today called Sunset Valley, and this is a place I could see elves living or even dwarves or something. It's a beautiful painting, lots of color in warm brown tones. So won't you sit back and relax and join me on this episode of Relaxation Oil Painting. Well, hello there. Welcome to Relaxation Oil Painting. Today I'm going to do a smaller canvas. I think it's about 16 by 20. It's not my normal 18 by 24. So let's get started. I have a very limited palette here. I have alizarin crimson, a little bit of black, sap green, a little yellow ochre, bright yellow, and some white. So let's do kind of a brownish sunset, sunrise type of colorful painting. As you can see, I have the master, Bob Ross, in the background playing for inspiration. And as I say, I'm no Bob Ross. I just do this as a part-time hobby for fun. So sit back and relax, get a drink, and let's do some painting. I'm going to go into some bright yellow, some white, and I want this really bright, this sky. A little bit of bright yellow, white, and just a touch of the yellow ochre. And just a little bit on the brush here. And I'm going to create a circle today. Let's see if I can put this bright yellow kind of circle here. Just staining the canvas a little bit with this yellow color. And I'll go into a little more of the golden yellow, just to change the hue a little bit. A little darker. I'm going to put a touch of alizarin crimson. That's better. And I'm just crisscross stroking here. I want this to be a very bright sky. A little more of the yellow ochre, just a touch of crimson. Switch my hands here. And we continue to get a little bit darker as I go farther out. Darker, darker, darker towards the edge. And just a touch of black into this mixture here. We'll darken it. Makes kind of a brownish color, which is good toward the edge. Now let's take a moment and mix up. I'm going to mix a brown color here, so I'm going to use crimson and sap green. This mixed together will make a brown color. Want this a bit more on the red side. I'm just mixing these up together, as you can see on the palette. This makes a nice brown color that you can't find in any tube. So let's see where that gets us. Take a little of this color and just see what it looks like on the canvas. That's good. I like that. While we're at it, I'm just going to take some of this and color my canvas. Just looking for preliminary staining here. Nice earth tones. That's good. Let's take a clean 2-inch brush and just start to soften these edges here. Blending out the sky, softening it so it looks very far away. Another 2-inch brush here. I have several of these going. That's better. And with a little bit of white, pure white, I'm going to go in here. Create a bright spot here. This is where the sun would be in the sky, so I'm going to make this brighter, working my way out. Good. Cleaning off the excess paint. Going into a little bit more of the bright. You can do this over and over again to get the white brightness you're looking for. Just a question of how bright you want it. And maybe near the top, we're to put a couple of small clouds in. For these, I'm going to use alizarin crimson and a touch of black and a touch of yellow ochre here. Kind of an orangish red color. And let's have a couple of clouds coming in. Just kind of fluffing these around. Not too many, maybe 2 today. I'll put one down here. This one comes across. It's kind of bigger. And maybe one more, we'll do a third. Why not? This one's right here. Now, let's take a soft brush here and just blend the bottoms of these. Just smoothing out the clouds here. Good. Good, good, good. I want these quite soft, quite large, quite billowy. Nice. Almost looks like a weather front starting to come through. And let's just smooth this out. Very lightly, just getting rid of the brush strokes here on the sky. And that easy, you have a very simple, very easy sky. Nice coloring. Now I can adjust this light, as you can see. I don't want the reflection too much, but I need this light to see. We'll put it there. Okay, using a 2-inch brush. Actually, I think I will. Let's do a 2-inch brush here with the same brown, maroon color. Adding a little white to it. I want these far away hills. Let's see what this does. So maybe upper hills here. Not much detail up here. A nice horizon line. Maybe this hill comes way up. I'm expecting this little Bob Ross up here. Can you see him? Expecting him to fall any moment. I don't want any detail on these. I want these really far away. I'm only concerned about the top. The more you tap the paint in, the softer it'll get, the more it will mix with the white that's on the canvas. That's what I'm looking for here. Almost an imperceivable ridge line there. Very, very smooth, very dull. Now I'll take a fan brush, go into some white, and create the Illusion of mist here. And smooth that out. Letting the brush do the work for me. You don't need to put a lot of effort in. Brush will do the work for you. That easy, it creates like a cloud bank. Very nice. So we have a nice little sky going, little ridge line. Now let's go in and create some dark trees. Another fan brush here. Let's go into some straight alizarin crimson. A little bit of the sap green. Loading the brush up, bunches of paint. A little dark. Let's go in and create some trees here. Most of this will be covered up. Tall hill here. Kind of a steep hill. And let's create another one here. Can you see that, I hope? This fan brush is really nice for making these trees. Kind of soft at the same time. Maybe that goes way down in the back. There. See, it's still picking up the background colors. This kind of brownish maroon. I like it. It's very different. Earth tone. Very appealing to my eye. Now we take the bottom here. Just blending this, lifting slightly. I'm going to take a paper towel and remove some of this excess paint. If you get too much paint on the canvas here, which I do have, you have to remove it. Or there's no tooth left in the canvas and it won't do what you're asking it to do. So if I take some of this paint away, effectively drying the canvas, this will really help me here. Hope my head's not too much in the way. I have to wear a baseball hat to keep the light out of my eyes, as you know. It's a rolling fog coming down here, see? It's nice. Very foggy. Blending, blending, blending. Down into this deep valley here. Keep getting some hairs on the canvas. I apologize. When you get them on there, you got to remove them, or they'll just keep coming back. Okay, that's good. Now you can go through with a knife and slowly create the illusion of tree trunks here. You may not be able to see that on the camera, but it's there. Just scraping in. Thousands of little tree trunks. That's it. Let's go back. Clean up the bottom. That's it. Through the fog. Now, that's good. So we have a deep valley there, like that. Now we can go here and create, let's do this. Let's take a filbert brush and, pardon me while I get some more paint. Just squeezing out some more titanium white onto my palette. Again, I want to take this paint away here. There we go. Remember the golden color we had underneath, still there. That gives me a little outline draft of what I'm going to do next. Taking some titanium white. Loading up the paintbrush here. Lots of paint. And just touching here. Just creating a little see? Could be a pathway or a river, I don't know. Now we're going to add a little more color here, so now I'm going to go back into a brush. Let's take a 1-inch brush, add some sap green and brown, making this a dull brownish green here. Dark color. I'm coming in here and bringing in some hills. It's an interesting landscape. Maybe there's a high one here. It comes out. And then comes down. It's like a cliff, you know? Just think about the lay of the land, the way that each brush stroke I'm doing does have a direction to it. I'm purposely making this at the same angle as the hill here. Now let's set that aside. Let's get another brush here. Getting a little bit of liquid white. Using some of that yellow ochre. I'll make a nice highlight color here. I'm thinning the paint down. Thinner paint sticks to a thick paint. And from here we highlight where the sun is hitting. Can you see that? Now we go into more detailed brush here. Going into some black and brown. I want a dark color. Lots of paint loaded on this tiny little edge brush. And I'm going to come in here and create some edge here. This helps this little path or river kind of stick out. Ooh, that's nice. See, a lot of details you can do with this tiny brush. Just a few highlights here of where the dirt would be coming down. Good. See? A little detail in that valley. And going back into this dark color, we can create a little bit of land here. I don't know if you can see that. Don't forget your perspective. You want to pull the viewer's eye into the canvas. So near the bottom it gets wider and wider, of course. Down here. Going across to make this perhaps water. See? Grabbing some brown, some white. Making kind of a water line here. Good. Okay, let's continue these hills. Now I want to have I want to have a large tree that pops in, but before I do that I need to finish these green hills. Where did I put that big 2-inch? Where is it? Is this it? I have a brush with some dark color on it. Here it is. I knew I put it somewhere. Going back into our brownish green, dark color. Let's continue down here. Pushes those other ridges back with this dark line here. See? I like that. By making this dark here, I make that edge more steep. Okay, that's good for now. You ready for your bravery test? Let's do it. Let's put a giant tree. For those of you out there screaming, "Don't do it!" I'm going to do it. Going into black in this brown color. I want this really dark. Lots of paint on here. Just loading this brush up. Looks like a dog paw. Okay, you ready? Artist license. Once you get your first tube of paint, as Bob says, you can do whatever you want in your world. Let's put this down for a moment. Yeah, let's decide where we're going to put this tree. What I think I might do is put one tree here, you know, like growing up. So to do that, I'm going to need a smaller brush. Maybe even a liner brush. Something thin. That might take a few minutes, but I want that tree to kind of be far away. Okay, let's pause a moment. Let's go into this dark color. This nice brown. Using paint thinner to thin the paint down. And let's go in and create a tree up here on this ridge. So, let's put a tree here coming out. This takes quite a bit of time. Hope you're not in a rush or going anywhere. Holding my breath as I do this. And you can put as many or as few branches on as you want. I like this. See, it's quite far away, but it's a big tree. It's just far away. We can add some leaves to it in a few minutes. See? Far away tree. Now let's make the big one. We'll go back and add leaves. This big sucker is going to be right in the front. Hold on 1 minute. I dropped my brush. Where did it go? It's over there. Let's get this. Okay. Big filbert here. Let's use this big brush. Filling this up. Green, alizarin crimson, black. Super dark. Let me get some Van Dyke brown on my palette. Van Dyke brown is a dark brown that's pre-mixed. And it's good for trees. Okay. Loading a lot of paint into this brush. Here we go, bravery test. Let's put it right here. Told ya. Have to be brave. Told ya. Let's make a second one. Maybe this one comes here. There, I like it. It really pushes everything way back. Take a second and flatten this out. I don't like this hill here. Just taking this brush strokes out down here. That's better. Good. Maybe even put this way up here. Look at that. It's a really steep ravine here. Nice. Okay. That's better. Now we go back to my brown mixture here, my dark brown. Using paint thinner here, make this kind of an ink. So we can put some branches in. And we have a branch coming here. One coming out. And another one here. All kinds of branches coming off. Boy, you have to use a lot of this paint thinner. And one coming down here. Oh, that's going sideways. Make sure all your branches don't go the exact same way. There. Big one there. This will be covered up with leaves, most of it. But some of these will show through. Now, because I added paint thinner to this, it makes it thin, so I'm going to go back in and go over the main trunk with this dark color, especially on the left side where the sun is darker, shadow side here. Now let's add some leaves. You ready? Okay. Maybe I want this, I'll have them dark green. Something's telling me to keep it dark green. Now, what do we want to make the branches with? We have several brushes we could use. I think I will use this round brush. Can you see that? It's a nice brush to use. Now, let's go into the green and yellow. I don't want these I don't want this too dark. Let's go into sap green. See where this gets us. I don't want these too dark. A little bit of the brown. Just loading this brush up. There. Oh, Bob's about to come down. See this bobblehead? Someone got me. Isn't that cool? Have you seen these? It's a Bob bobblehead, Bob Ross bobblehead. You can find them online. They're fun. I love it. People send me stuff. I thank you for it. Okay, let's go add some branches here. Leaves. Think about the shape of the tree. Where's that green? There it is. It's kind of a pine tree, isn't it? Kind of. While we're at it, let's add this back one here. Far away. Leaves. It sticks out nice against that sky. See? Looks good. Nice. Ooh, that looks like a place where an owl would be, doesn't it, up here? It really does. Awesome, I like it. Let's clean up the foot here. Bringing in some green at the bottom. Cleans that up nicely. A little more green down here. Down in the colder shadows. See? Maybe just a touch up here. And let's go into the brown. Watch this, make this really dark here. That kind of pushes that all back. Foregrounds tend to be much darker than the background. Nice. Let's put that down for a minute. Now we can go in and make this a bit of a birch tree here just by touching lightly. A little bit of roundness here near the base, highlighting. And then I mix it in. Maybe just a touch over here too. A little indication of a highlight. That's nice. And a little here, see? There, a little highlight. Good. Now let's clean up this edge down here. Let's clean off this brush here using odorless paint thinner. And there's a screen in a plastic can here. The screen takes all the sediment to the bottom, which keeps it clean so I can reuse it many times. You're not supposed to dump that in the environment. Don't dump this down your sink. Don't ever dump the paint thinner down your sink. It'll ruin your pipes and the environment. So paint thinner can be used many times, and then you should bring it to your local dump. Dispose of it properly. Don't even bury it in the yard. It's powerful stuff. Let's go in here with some white and add a little bit of detail here. The more I pull these lines, the more watery it looks. It makes it dull down. Whoops, cleaning this off. I like that shine in the middle. See, it's lighter, it's highlighted right in the middle here. And then you pull this out. There. Let's do this. Maybe that's a river coming down. That's cool looking. Just cuts that highlight a little bit. Whoops. Trying to clean this brush with paper towel. I like that. So we have kind of a river valley here. We have, to me this looks more like a sunset or getting ready to set, maybe 4 in the afternoon, 5, maybe 6. Some hazy brown mountains back here, or large, very large hills. You have a fog bank coming, lots of depth here, and then maybe this river comes through this large ravine where you have these trees coming down, the river's flowing out. A small tree, larger tree for perspective. Now when this dries, I'll probably go back in and add a bit more highlight. I'll show you what I mean. If I take my palette into the yellow ochre to make this a bit more gold color, I can come in here and add little bits of highlight, which makes these hills pop out a bit more. I don't know if you can see that. gives a little texture to the grass, you know. Gives a nice texture. And just a touch of crimson here to add almost like a couple flowers down here. Maybe there's some different wildlife down here. Nice. Adds a little different color. Okay, isn't that easy? It didn't take very long, did it? Simple painting, small, a lot of depth, a lot of perspective to it. But anyone can do this. This is not hard. Just take some practice. And this is not going to ever hang in the Smithsonian. This is minor painting here. We're just having fun, but these are really nice to give to people as gifts, or just to say I love you, or you can charge a little bit of money for them if you want. If someone's willing to pay, at least it will cover the cost of paints. Now, any profit that I make from this, I put right back into my painting. I do not do this as a living. I own a successful martial arts school. I have success in music. So this painting hobby is just something I like to do for fun. And I hope that this crappy little piece inspires someone out there to pick up a brush and start to paint. It's really a nice thing to do with your time. It's relaxing. It's great for your blood pressure. It totally de-stresses you. It allows you to create, just to make life much more beautiful. And then again, to give to other people your own creation, versus buying it in a store as a gift or giving a gift certificate. When you can actually hand someone a painting that you created that they can hang on their wall, I don't think that there's anything more personal than that. So there it is. We'll call this one, I don't know, let's think for a second. I like the idea of calling this one perhaps Sunset Valley. Sunset Valley, because that's all I can think of is a valley. It's deep. I wouldn't want to be here in winter. It'd be very cold, but this is a very warm painting to brighten up someone's room. So my friends, thank you so much for watching and relaxing with me. This is another episode of Relaxation Oil Painting, and this is Todd Norcross saying I wish you the best of your night or your day, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.